Hi guys, ctrygirl555 here, Tina. It is December the 19th, 2012, day 141 of my Take It Back. Let's see. I got a little bit of sleep last night, not quite as much as the night before, but I did get some sleep, and I think it's because of the sedation medication that they put me on. It's like a whole handful of medicine, which takes time to work. So several hours after I've taken it. Like, it's now 8:05 p.m. and I just took the medication. Nothing all day, right? But it won't be until many hours into the morning before I'll go to sleep. So I don't know what's the deal with that, but the pain won't let me sleep on its own. And I'm not taking a sleeping sedative. I'm taking 4 pain sedatives, 3 seizure pills, 2 of something else, 2 stomach pills, 2 nausea pills, and of course this morning when I got up I took my citralopram, 10 milligram, 1 pill of that, 1.8 dosage of Victoza, and then of course I've taken metformin throughout the day. For breakfast, I'll show you here, I have 150-gram pack of almonds and 1 Jaffa clementine and 1 small banana. For lunch, and I'll show you here, I had baked in the oven 2 grilled pieces of chicken. It said garlic and herb chicken grill, and you just take them from the box and you bake them in the oven for 20 minutes. And I didn't like those. They were 145 calories each, which would have made me a 300 calorie lunch after the 410 calorie breakfast, right? I eat 3/4 of 1 piece, trying to stuff it down. And as I'll show you here, I had quite a bit left. I couldn't eat it. Let's see. I had a pint of water. And for dinner, I steamed broccoli. And I made Gordon Ramsay's white sauce recipe. I watched a YouTube video of his white sauce, Christmas white sauce. It's not the sweet one, it's the cheese one. It can go with pastas or what have you. But I baked in the oven. Mind you guys, it only takes 20 minutes to make a good meal. I baked in the oven 2 pieces of thin cod, which amounted to roughly 5 ounces. And I baked it from frozen. Drizzled just a little tiny bit of extra virgin olive oil on top of that and rubbed it in. And then I squeezed lemon from a fresh lemon, and I put a little rosemary and a little thyme on that, little sea salt, and then white pepper. and I have a nice taste for white pepper. I like white pepper. So I steamed the broccoli. I made Weight Watchers baked beans just by sauteing some onions and then putting the beans in the pan with that. And I had the serving size of baked beans, which equals like 4 points on Weight Watchers. And steamed the broccoli in the microwave. Got it out, kind of tipped my steamer, and made sure all the extra water was off of it. It says I steam from frozen because nobody else around here eats vegetables. I'm the only one who eats vegetables. So I have found it's cheaper for me to buy my vegetables frozen instead of in the can, or instead of fresh. I buy them frozen, unless it's mushrooms, tomatoes, cauliflower, and I always buy those fresh. If I want Brussels sprouts, I'll buy 10 or 12 Brussels sprouts fresh. But I have been known to buy broccoli fresh if I want to use it in the faji dip that I make with the ranch. But I knew that I was going to have fish because that's what I ordered in my order. And so I just done a steamed bed of broccoli. And I made, as I said, Gordon Ramsay's white cheese sauce. And my fish, baked it for 20 minutes exactly. And it was perfect. Al dente. So I put my baked beans in my serving bowl, and it comes out the perfect portion because the bowls have all been weighed. I don't know what they hold and everything. So then on my plate I put the bed of broccoli and just a little bit of white sauce on that, and then I laid my 2 pieces of fresh cooked cod on top of that, and just a little tiny bit of the white sauce on top of that. Now I made the white sauce. His recipe calls for fresh, amazing cheese, right? The best you can get. Full fat and everything. I can't do that, so I use my Weight Watchers cheese, and it was surprisingly really, really good. You can look him up on YouTube, but the recipe is just simply this. 1 tablespoon of butter. I use Clover Light. 1 tablespoon of flour. You stir it with a whisk in a pan, and it'll come to a paste. You let it cook just a little bit like a roux. Then I did a 1/2 cup of skim milk. Pour that in there, and it thickens up really fast. Then you go ahead and you pour the other 1/2 cup of skim milk, and you put your salt and pepper in there. You can also put chili in it, and just a hint of nutmeg. And then you put your ounce and a half cheese into there. And trying to grade the Weight Watchers cheese is very hard. It mostly crumbles because they've taken it down to where your ounce of cheese is only 43 calories, right? So I done 1.5 ounces just to make sure that it was right. And there was so much of the sauce left, I've had to put it in the fridge. But it was absolutely really nice. It was really, really nice, even made with the light Clover Light skim milk and the Weight Watchers lower fat, lower calorie cheese. Now, Gordon Ramsay didn't do all that lower calorie count stuff on his. He did full butter, and he did full whole milk, and of course he did the best cheese you could find. But I just kind of tweaked his recipe a little bit, and the white sauce was amazing. I say it was the best broccoli fish dish that I've done in quite some time. And honest to goodness, it only took 20 minutes. I could not stand up for any longer than that. It only took me a few minutes to prepare it, and then I could go sit back down. I still cannot sit up very long. I'm still in massive amount of pain. So I've retired to my bedroom now to lay down, which I have done several times today because I just cannot stand to sit up. It's too much pain. And I've had about 3 pints of water today. I've got one beside me now. I did have a cup of hot cocoa this morning before I had my breakfast. I have not had coffee since the 8th or the 7th. 7th or 8th of December. I'll have to look back through. But that was my number 4 goal, was to have no coffee. So I'm playing around with my goals. You know, my number 3 goal was to ride the recumbent bike. And I will try to get back into that when they release me to do such. But as of now, I can't do that. It appears that the nerve endings and stuff in my back, of course, you know, they lead to your legs, and because of that, my legs have been suffering really bad. So they upped my seizure my seizure medication for that. Excuse me. My eyes seem just a little bit better today. At least I'm making a video with the light on. Don't get me wrong, my eyes are in a lot of pain. Shooting pain straight through the middle, straight out the back of my head. And then I got pain up and down through this side of my neck. But this is the eye that keeps going completely blind. This one only went blind one time, and I'm lucky that the vision in it is almost come back perfect. So I keep, walking around like this. And Keith had a laugh. He said, "You want me to get you a patch? And or matey, and you need a parrot on your shoulder." And he makes a joke out of everything. So, that was my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner. Of course, I didn't eat my lunch because I did not like the chicken at all. And as I said, I maybe had 3/4 of a bite of that one piece of chicken. I was going to have the 2 pieces as a 300-calorie meal. But no. So therefore, you get a little bit hungry after that. So later on, I had a custard tart, which is just made out of egg whites, basically. A custard tart. It's hardly sweet at all, but it's 5 points on my Weight Watchers plan, so I can get that in. I'm fixing to do a little bit of photo editing and picture editing and stuff like that on my computer. From this position in my bed, I have a stand here I can put over my lap, and Keith has to set it up because I can't lift anything. So, but I was going to show you, oh dear, this is what I'm going to have for my snack. It is a Weight Watchers toffee yogurt. 1 point for the container. Is absolutely delicious. 120 grams. And it's so nice. I really do enjoy this one. Believe it or not, you get it's either 4 or 6 of these in a package for £1, and that's really cheap. very, very inexpensive. And so you got like 3 to 4 flavors to choose from. And there's a raspberry yogurt, a strawberry yogurt, a cherry yogurt. There's a vanilla yogurt, a toffee yogurt. There's a one I usually leave for last is it's too citrusy. What is the grapefruit yogurt? It's a grapefruit yogurt. And although it's not bad, it's very, very not stomach friendly. So I'll leave that one for kind of last. There's also a lemon and lime one, and then a lemon one. And they're all mixed up. You've got 3 big packages for £3, which is really good money for yogurt. So, for somebody who hates bananas as bad as I hate bananas, I've done really well having 1 banana a day and keeping that in my diet, and then having the Jaffa clementines. I'll have my Jaffa clementines a couple more days, and then I'm on to the green apples, and then that's what I'll be having for breakfast with my either cashews, or I don't know if I'll save cashews for a snack, just depending. I want just to try to keep my calorie content roughly spread it out, you know. If you think about it this way, and you want to have 4 meals, and you're allowed enough calories, 4 meals at 400 calories is 1,600 calories. So I'm allowed 1,770. But I have been eating only 1 or 2 meals, so I've had to make a couple of them a little higher in calories, as I thought I was doing with those almonds. But then I come to find out I was having only around 410 calories for breakfast, and then only 1 other meal, which was equaling out to 400 calories. And so I was only having 800 calories, and I was wondering why I was extremely hungry when it was time for me to get up from the bed or whatever. And so you really have to pay attention to those things. They're hard to read, but you can get the hang of it really quickly, because if you know what a serving size is, or if you buy portion control servings, like things that come as 1 serving, then you don't have to do anything but, you know, eat it and then log your calories. Or in my case, my points and my calories, because I do both, and I also count protein. So it's just my way of getting to eat the foods that I really want to eat, and without overindulging in crap that I don't need. Several times since I've been sick, I've wanted to eat everything, as I was trying to tell you in my other video. I've wanted to eat so many other things, like potato chips and things, and I've been really good. When I have wanted potato chips, I would have a really low-calorie ham sandwich with mustard and a bag of roasted chicken chips. And when I wanted pizza, I had the Weight Watchers pizza, which is a nice portion of pizza. It's a nice pie. It is absolutely amazing in taste. It's thin crust, so there's not a lot of carbs in the crust. It's mainly veggies, like red pepper, green pepper, all that stuff, onion and all. And it does have little baby miniature thick pepperonis on it, and they're spicy, so it gives it quite the kick. Let's see. I'm just kind of trying to take this time that I can't physically do a lot to reset my goals that I've set. The physical ones, that is. the recumbent bike and the 10 minutes of exercise each day. Those are goals that I literally cannot do right now. So I'm trying to come up with an alternative goal to put in place of that at this time. And I hope that I can figure out exactly what I need to do. It's not so easy thinking of the right goals to suit what I need to do for myself. In goal setting, you can think of anything from emotional detachments to things, to, exercise, to like not having the coffee. So there's a lot of things you can think of. So I'm doing a lot of research on that and seeing about the other two that could hit me or strike something in me that will be beneficial to me while I can't physically do anything active, right? So, with that said, my husband, I will say this, my husband went out the other evening down the road to take Mom to get a bit of her shopping and her last Christmas cards mailed out and things like that. And he went into my favorite cancer shop, where I always buy things in there, donate money for cancer, right? And he knows that just one of my favorite authors is John Grisham. And so he calls me on the phone and he says, they got some books in here that I thought you would like. Have you ever heard of The Litigators? And I said, no, that's his last year's book. I don't have it. I don't know if you can see over there my wall of books. Most of that would be Dan Brown, Charlene Harris, John Grisham, of course, Shakespeare, Stephen King, a lot of Stephen King, and some Twilight books. And I do love Charlene Harris and all. So he comes home with these books, and two of them, buy one, get one free for £2.99. So in all, each book that are absolutely brand new were £3, less than £3. So it made them each book be £1.50, which to you in America or whatever would be almost $2 or $2.25 for a book that would cost you $20, let's say. And so I got two new books, and the other book he picked for me is actually a book that I've been reading on audio, and I can't believe I'm reading this book because it is all over the place. But because I have an open mind and I enjoy the excitement of a read, it is 50 Shades of Grey. My dear Lord, by E.L. James. So he brought the first book of 50 Shades of Grey and John Grisham's The Litigator for me to read. And I wanted to bring my eyeglass in here for you guys to see. You may have seen it on the wall and behind my black chair in the living room. Like it's a big, huge, rectangular shaped eyeglass piece. And, yeah. Hold on a minute, guys. Okay. I had a question from someone that I do not know. And from my last video. So I thought that I would include this in on this video. This is called Bandia. Bandia. And it's gourmet blend steak seasoning. This is what I put on my chicken that was wrapped in the Weight Watchers Smoky Bacon. And it is amazing. It has, I'll read you what it says, okay? Hold on now. I have to get something else to read that by. Maybe I can remember from last night. Well, I know from last night when I wrote back to the comment that she, I'm not sure, left me. It said that it was an American Southwestern, like intensive ingredient that kind of put together peppers, chilies, garlic, and herbs all together to make a wonderful, wonderful seasoning. And I do not know if you can see that really well, but it's absolutely amazing. And not only on steak, it says it's a good for steak. Okay, and now I've had it on chicken, and I have actually had it on haddock. And I take my haddock straight out of the freezer and put it on aluminum foil, spray it with a little no-calorie spray on the foil, lay it on there, fresh lemon squeezed on top of it, and then I sprinkle a little bit of that on both sides, lemon on both sides, and a little bit of that steak seasoning, and it's absolutely amazing. You can get it in the States. I've left the website for it on the last video that I've done. Remember to put www in front of that. I wrote. It doesn't like for you to put websites in your comments and things like that, as you know. So, I think that's all that I wanted to say about my my buy it and write it today, and a little bit of update on those things. And I know you're all probably going crazy because I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey, but don't knock it. You know, books are amazing tools. You never know what you're going to get out of one given book. And the fact that I have gotten completely through the whole book via audio, because I can't read the physical book. I love books. I absolutely love books. That's like, I love Marilyn Monroe, and I love classical music, and I love all types of music, but I really do love good classical music. The other morning when I couldn't see very well, I listened to Liza Minnelli doing a concert, but then was like, the topping on the cake was Katherine Jenkins. Oh my dear word. She was absolutely amazing. Katherine Jenkins is outstanding singer, performer, dancer. She is amazing. And then to top that all off, I listened to El Divo, which I've done a lot of listening to them because of their Latin singing and their mixture of English singing and bringing, like they did a performance copy of My Way, Frank Sinatra's My Way, and then of course you know Elvis Presley recorded that in this 1973 or something, and he sang that in his last concert, I think, before he passed on. But it is the most played or copied recorded song in the world. But El Divo done a rendition of this song, and it was just amazing. It was so nice to listen to. So I was up so early in the morning and no one was up, and I found a channel because I couldn't watch the TV physically because of my eyes, so I could listen, couldn't I? My ears work. So I had like 4 hours of concerts while I laid on the couch, and it was really, really nice. But started out with an hour of Liza Minnelli, and my mom really likes Liza Minnelli, so that brought back a few memories. And listening to her do Cabaret was really nice. I enjoyed that. And then listening to Katherine Jenkins do Angel. I think that's Sarah McLachlan's Angel that she did. And then watch her fly up in the air on these ropes and all this. It was really, really nice. But, you know, I could just lay there and rest my eyes and just hear the music. And her voice is so amazing. I didn't realize that she had released 10 albums. But if you ever get a chance to type her into YouTube or Google or whatever, have a listen to some of her songs. She's really, really nice. And El Divo will uplift you. Their rendition of Hallelujah is amazing. And I'll Fly Away. That, yeah. Oh, country girl, how many times have you said and amazing in this video? Ooh, I don't know. But yes, highly sedated now since 35 minutes ago. It's not started to kick in yet. It takes several hours for it all to kick in. And don't know what time I'll go to sleep, but I have some things I can do laying here in the bed, all covered up, snuggly, snuggly. And with my little doggy over here. I'm not allowed to have a dog, guys. Not allowed. Is it that strike you really funny that a grown woman of 42 years old is not allowed to have a dog? Oh, but there will come a day. So that's my update for today. Boy, I hope I didn't go over 20 minutes. I'm kind of long-winded, aren't I? So, with that all said, I hope you are enjoying your Wednesday. And hope you all are doing everything that you can do to take it back. And I want you to know that I love you very much. And I'm thinking about you all. You're all in my prayers. And I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. In preparation to Christmas, I am hoping that you all not in the rubble of all the shopping and everything. And my heart and prayers goes out to all the families of the lost children and teachers and things like that happened in the shootings. I was sad to hear about all of that. Very sad. And I have prayed for everyone and continue to pray, and I will do so. But that strikes really hard, as I do have 4 children, 2 of which are still in school, and I have my 3-year-old grandbaby who has just started school, her birthday in September. So, and then I have so many friends that are teachers, and it's a sad, very, very cruel, sick person who would do such things. And all I got to say to that is they sure did need some Jesus. They needed to get them some Jesus. That's all I got to say about it. But those children are at rest, and I'm so sad for their families and for them. You know, I've just lost what I call my aunt several days ago, and diagnosed with cancer, and she had a few strokes and things, and she's actually partner of my real uncle, Bubba. So, I mean, she's a big part of our family, all our Christmas gatherings and Thanksgivings and birthdays, and she was at my going away dinner when I was back home and everything, and I went to see her in her home and stuff, and so she will be greatly missed, and all the families dealing with all of that in their own way. So it's not the time of the year. It's just when Jesus, and when He comes for you. It has nothing to do with the time of year. It's just God's plan. And I believe that with all my heart. It's God's plan. And we can ask why until the cows come home. And still we'll wake up asking why. But the best thing for us to really do is believe. To believe in the one we believe in. Whomever that is for all of you. I know who I believe in. And I believe in my Savior. And that's what I'll say. I believe in your prayers. And I feel them. To my core, I do. Peace out. That's how we roll. That is how we roll. God bless you all. God bless you. I'll pray for you in hopes that you pray for me. Do something for yourself today so you can do something for someone else tomorrow. Or do something for someone else today so you can do something for yourself tomorrow, whatever that may be. God bless you all. God bless you. Ta-da.